All right, guys, hoping that I haven't broken anything today, but chances are always greater than not that I have, because let's be honest, it's Rifkin. I'm wearing a backwards cap because I'm cool. Also, my hair is my hair is a hot mess, dude. Like, straight up. So a hat's better than no hat. And we're gonna be getting to the BTSL. As you can hear, though, here to the side, I got Maynard joining me. How you doing, man?
So, dude, I'm really good. I got a new chair today. So, dude, my back feels great. I got this brand new chair. It's fantastic. It's very ergonomic. I have mostly finished a can of White Monster, so I have lots of energy for tonight's cast. All of my doors are closed, so I can be loud.
Nice.
And I'm really, really excited because what better time to be louder than for the BTSL Korea Group Finals, Rifkin?
Yeah.
We've got ourselves
my God.
a great selection of players.
All best of 5 on top of this. If you guys don't know what's going on, the music's going to be loud for a second because I haven't adjusted it. Here's a quick peek at the brackets for today. Turn that bad boy down. Yeah, so first up, we got GuMiho and herO. They're actually... I love the efficiency. I've gone from casting the WCS NA regional qualifiers where I had no shots fired to anybody, but they have like Gold League players who don't understand how vetoes work. Takes 40 minutes to get into a game. I'm not even done the sentence, and they're finished vetoes and map picks all the way to game 5. God damn it, I miss professional sometimes.
Shit. Like a well-oiled machine. I like it.
But yeah, it's going to be starting with GuMiho versus herO in a TVP, then Innovation versus Impact in a TVZ. You guys don't want to miss out on any of the matches today, but luckily, if you do, you'll be able to catch everything here on the channel. If you subscribe right now, I want to be clear. The subscriber for VODs thing is temporary. That is super not permanent. There's just some dick who keeps going through our VODs and spamming clips, and it's really annoying. So we're trying to deter that. But after a couple of days, when I'm hoping they get bored of it, we'll be back to freebies, guys. But Nice Username's also been pretty good. He's been back on track with getting our YouTube rolling, so you'll always be able to catch things there for free in a worst case scenario. Not to mention we run so many replays, people never expect us to be live anymore. So you should be able to catch games at your leisure. It just, unfortunately for now, there is a subscriber-only VOD thing, but it's temporary. It's real temporary. I really want to emphasize that.
So Joey's still doing YouTube. I'm pleased to hear it. It's good.
Yeah, he took a trip to Jerusalem or something, and he was gone for about a month, but he's back now.
I saw that.
But okay, guys, as always, the blanket, hey, audio, let us know, all that good stuff. Maynard and I should be pretty good. I did a couple of tests before we went live, but, you know, it's me. Let's be real. It's Rifkin.
Oh, come now. Oh, come now. You're being so hard on yourself.
Maybe, but hang on. What is that? Oh, they're saying go. Okay. I was like, what? A2, A3. Let's not dilly-dally. Let's just hop right into the action, guys. It's Blackpink for game number 1. We'll see you in a sec. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the BTSL. This is the Korean Group Finals, meaning whoever wins this and their second place finisher will go on to play the playoffs for the spot to come to Canada, the BTSL Vancouver Finals. Maynard's coming, Morty's coming, I'm going, and of course Zombie Grub will be there too. It's going to be a good time. I'm excited to see which of these players get out of the group to join us. To kick things off, however, in the top right, playing for Root Gaming, we have the blue Protoss herO.
It certainly is. Well spotted in the bottom left from Psystorm Gaming. This is GuMiho.
Got our own little Korea Super Tournament right now. It's this group I am actually like nerd chills over because I love not just the initial matchups and the way seeding led into it, but all the players. GuMiho, one of my favorite herO, herO, probably my favorite Protoss, with Zest as a close second. Like, this is going to be an amazing day for StarCraft 2.
Man, to me, this group is like 3 incredibly imaginative and creative and entertaining players and innovation.
I have no comments to follow that up, but I agree.
You have a little bit of everything. You know, GuMiho is like the mad scientist of Terran. A lot of people call him that. herO is insane. Impact is...
Oh.
You know, usually rock solid, you know, as standard could be. But he does cheat from time to time. Go on.
Okay, guys, you may have heard the audio go weird. Let me know if it's okay right now. For no reason that I can understand, in the middle of you speaking, and I hope this didn't interrupt you, my audio swapped to my monitor and then back to my headset.
What?
There was no muting going on there, guys. I got no clue what just happened. It's fine now? Okay. I knew we couldn't get off to a smooth start. There had to be a problem. It's never smooth sailing.
God damn it, technology. Why you gotta play us like that?
But sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. That was just kind of a, oh, what's happening moment for me. But, yeah, man, we got the best group and, of course, the worst problems at the start. Let's hope it's the only one for today, though, folks. Anyways, GuMiho, mad scientist, you were saying?
Yeah, just, you know, for me, these GuMiho, Impact, and herO are like the creative sort of tinkerers, the guys that sit there in the lab with their different colored beakers, mixing things together to see what works. You know, throwing builds at the wall and seeing what sticks. And then there's innovation, usually iron things out to a T, and then, you know, we'll find the most efficient way to slay an opponent and just do it so well that even if you know it's coming, he'll just kill you anyway.
He's the control for the experiments. That's what you measure everything against. It makes sense. They work together to create this awesome lab of StarCraft too. But, yo, GuMiho, I did not expect to get a second probe out of that. That was pretty nice.
I got a very fast Warp Prism here from herO, though. He is...
The Warp Prism doesn't intrigue me so much as what GuMiho is doing, though. The Widow Mine... Wait, did he not get to the main? Oh, that's why. The Reaper never actually got to the main. Of course, it was busy with the probes, so he didn't see whether it's a Stargate or not. And the Widow Mine for a little bit of paranoia makes sense. Also, the positioning's a bit cheeky. It's been a while. It's been a hot minute since we've seen Ryung placing Widow Mines in the middle of nowhere, getting the most amazing hits. GuMiho gonna try and emulate that, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a hard gotcha, but it's like not really a huge investment. And if it hits something, then it hits something. Great.
Oh, he doesn't see it.
Yeah, it's just out of vision there.
That would be a really good scout for GuMiho. But that being said, he's got vision on the base covered. The Cyclone won't be the most amazing thing, but it is really hard to fight early on. So no matter what comes out of this Warp Prism, the Cyclone should be able to buy some time. Tanks coming out next, but GuMiho's production on the whole is a little bit low. As his Marines pump out, it'll look better in a moment, but... you know, all things considered, that Widow Mine's going to be in the wrong spot. These are Stalkers in a Warp Prism. There's going to be some micro games to be had. This could get some pretty bad damage done if not handled correctly.
Yeah, and there's 4 Warp Gates ready to send in 4 more Stalkers if herO smells an opening. Speaking of an opening, looks like a GuMiho is going to pounce here into the main base with 7 Marines and a medevac. He doesn't have stem, obviously, no combat shield. Okay. So he recalls some of the units, but herO can absolutely still drop the main.
Yeah, and he does just that. But the tank and the Cyclone, it looks like anti-Stalker forces are enough. Can he stop the drop now for getting too much? The Adept starts falling, forces Warpins at home. This is still okay, though, for GuMiho, because he realizes there's not reinforcements on the other side of the field when you see 3 Warpins used at home like this.
Yeah, it's good reads from both players. Like, both players took very minimal damage from each other there. A little bit of scuffling at the front.
I got one of those smiles, but it's like a tiny smile like you just sucked on something sour. I really like what herO's doing, and that's with the observers. I always comment on this with Zest, because Zest is the only guy to consistently do this, but he's actually prioritized 3 or 4 observers to go into their sentinel mode, or surveillance mode, excuse me, and give him all the vision he needs, so GuMiho will not be able to do any more drops. I mean, he might be able to pull it off if his skill's there, but at least it will not be unseen. herO has...
yeah, he'll see it coming.
Yeah, he's got everything covered. I love this. This is so good. And it's such a small dedication of something to do, but knowledge is power in StarCraft, guys. Knowing where your opponent is at all times, that's what makes the Oracle so goddamn good.
Yeah, knowing is half the battle, just like G.I. Joe said. The little move there from the Stalkers in the main as well was quite nice from herO. He supply blocked GuMiho for a while there, so that was a good pick off there on that depot with those Stalkers. He found use with them finally because he wasn't finding too much damage at the front. This little force here is still quite paltry. It's quite small. I don't know if he's going to break a ramp with siege tanks on it. That is Prism speed, I believe. Yes. So he's going to be a real jerk on the way going further in this one. I hope he's not going for Colossus drop or something like that. It's got Colossi on the production menu as well.
Well, it'll be really hard to catch. But before we get too far away from your G.I. Joe comment, my brain went like, you know, the classic G.I. Joe, but like,
yeah,
GuMiho.
Oh, nice. Yeah, there you go.
But whether it's Colossus or Drops, I mean, the Colossus is still a great addition to have. We're not really seeing it be super popular nowadays. Things like Liberators and otherwise make it not the greatest unit to have in play. And even things like Disruptors seem to be more common. But you can never underestimate the strength of a Colossus or two. These things do so much damage to light. They'll melt away the Marines, and of course, they can take a hit or two with 200 health and 150 shields.
Yeah, they destroy Marines, which is usually the backbone of a Terran army in TvP. You go for a lot of Marine and tank. GuMiho is prioritizing Marauder production, though, and I don't blame him. He's seen a lot of Stalkers. He's seen the Colossi at this point, probably, from a scan. But yeah, I agree with you. I love Disruptors. They're my favorite unit in the game, and I think that they're starting to show their ugly faces in TvP again. They have the potential to trade very, very well with bio armies.
I blame M. Canning. He showed the power to the Koreans, and we know what Koreans do once they latch onto a good strategy. They win everything.
Yeah, they dig their little hooks in and they drag that thing across the finish line in all those Korean tournaments.
Unfortunately, this attack isn't going to get scouted. He'll see half of a couple Stalkers down here with that Cyclone, but if he saw that this was moving out, he'd be much better positioned for it, because right now GuMiho is heading south, and he needs to be north.
So if knowing is half the battle, but you've only seen half of the army, does that mean you only have a quarter of the knowledge?
Mate, I'm not doing math on stream, and you won't trick me into doing it either.
Ah, nearly baited you. Nearly. Oh, this is a weird situation. Big move out from GuMiho, and a massive army here from herO going to go up his ramp at the same time. herO has the ability to recall. GuMiho does not.
Yeah, trying to force a base trade out of Protoss like this is incredibly dangerous. Recall is available. It's off cooldown. There's not even a big setup at the top of the ramp. A couple tanks, some Marauders. He'll deal some damage before going out, but at the same time, GuMiho is very swiftly moving through the bases. That Nexus went down so fast I barely even noticed it.
Yeah, he's cutting through herO like a hot knife through butter, but herO is doing a good job against GuMiho here. GuMiho actually has quite a bit that can fly up here, and there's not a lot that shoots up for herO. I think that GuMiho should actually start floating some structures now if he wants to make this big for his work.
We're going to see Fate for All tactics coming to full swing, man. He does bait out the recall, but the recall doesn't grab everything, so there's still chaos in GuMiho's main. That being said, if he can hold on to these CCs, as you said, floating, lifting these buildings, there's not a lot to actually kill them. And GuMiho can recover off this. He's still got commands, or 3 of them to be precise, whereas herO's now stuck on 1 base, no matter how you paint this picture.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. herO has a much stronger army, but a good chunk of it is actually, like you said, still in GuMiho's main. He's holding on to the main base for now. These charge lots have still not been dealt with. There's even an Immortal with a Warp Prism here. GuMiho's boosting home. Looks like he wants to really clean things up back at home. I don't blame him. Try and see what production he has left.
I'm a little surprised at this move, by the way. I think he had a really good spot in herO's natural with those siege tanks. Nothing was coming down that ramp without getting blasted away. There's no blink on the Stalkers, but I guess GuMiho doesn't know that, and that's where it gets dangerous. Because that not having a blink means there's no way to really engage these tanks other than diving into them and getting shot in the face.
These tanks actually unloaded at third. I think he wanted them in the main there, but he's never going to get this fast Warp Prism. Like, this thing is actually not going to get caught. I mean, if this was a Diamond 1 player, maybe, but this is Root Gaming's herO we're talking about. That thing's not going to go down.
And this is a really insane situation to consider. Because 3 CCs live, the SCV count being low doesn't matter as much. There's mules. So GuMiho actually has better income than a player who's long distance mining his natural base. Yeah,
absolutely. Especially with mules. Like, GuMiho has a lot less workers, but he has a saturated base with resources. The main of herO is very, very dry here. It's a really good point. We do have an attempted drop. Oh, that Prism's taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be difficult to catch, but if he does, he doesn't actually have to catch much of it, right? It's already so low. He's going to see these rocks get taken. I mean, I love it. He sacrificed an SCV to the north to catch the army. He's got a Marine looking down here. Now he scans, confirm, drops on the other side of the map, shutting down the natural base of herO, who has nothing. There's nothing at home.
Yeah, and
it's recall.
Oh, no. Down for another 2 seconds. Oh my god, the main is in huge trouble here. Massively brilliant move by GuMiho.
Forcing a base trade out of herO. There's nothing for herO to do but race this out, but at the same time, I think you can just float a building. If GuMiho plays his cards right, the worst they should do is a draw.
He should absolutely float right now. Send that third up and out of there. He's got one of them floating up there from the natural, I think.
I'm having extreme PTSD to the free-for-all brawls on Twitch. Having all the turrets fly to the corners of the various maps, but still held up in the main. There's a lot of bio. Granted, it's Marines and they'll die to Colossus, but it's one single Colossus. GuMiho may still be able to hold on to this game.
I absolutely think so. Like, what countermeasures does herO have to catch flying structures right now?
Well, if GuMiho's not lifting him, then he doesn't need to catch him. The CCs are burning. He's so close to breaking this. So close. He pulls the SCVs. They got to surround the Colossus. They kill the Immortal. It's still not going to be enough. He's rushing back home with the attack he brought across the map, but yo, those buildings that were floating are all burned and dead.
No, I think that GuMiho can actually kill herO's army right now if he gets everything together. You gotta get everything together right now, dump on that army and just kill it right now.
So there's one really key thing about these Marines filtering in the way they are. They're not doing more damage to the Colossus, but they were stopping the shields from generating. So this thing is still sitting here pretty fragile. That being said, if this CC burns, there's nothing else to fall back to. He can build an SCV. He can drop a mule. He can repair this. Oh, a Viking tries to come out valiantly. Yo, this Viking will actually come out. All the anti-air's been brought with this. 1% finally. No, doesn't go down. 15 health gets away. Viking pops out. Only get focused down this, so it's not going to kill the Colossus. This is a whole case of the yikes, man. I don't. Oh my god.
Speed War Prism's just not. Oh, the Colossus on his own.
Oh, if you had realized that, if one of the barracks had been lagging behind, he could have pounced on that. And you know GuMiho would have as well, but prioritize mining over repair. This is so dicey. He can't lose the CC.
Dude, yeah, this is...
He can't lose the CC. Oh, thank God.
God, repair, man, repair. Both players are so mineral broke right now. Don't lose that medevac. GuMiho, no. Ah, naughty
Everything
boy.
matters. Everything matters. The Marines are stim. They're split.
Kill the Colossus.
Well, not the Colossus. Kill the Stalkers. They're forced to drop. He's doing that too. He's trying to focus them down.
And he's got 2 Stalkers still alive. The Prism Micro from herO is good as well. Did herO...
to be expected. He's got a counter. No, the one Prism goes down. Oh, run. Oh my God.
The Stalkers, there's one left. It's down. GuMiho wins.
You know what sucks? That just set the bar. We peaked. This is like when you peak in high school. Fuck, we got nowhere to go but downhill from there. What a sick first game. Oh my God. Oh my God. Jesus. I'm gonna get like noise complaints. I was shrieking so loud. Oh my God.
GuMiho and herO, that's so unfair. You want to get a players like that? Game 1 in a best of 5 looks like that? Jesus.
Yeah, please clip that. Someone freaking clip that. That came down to 2 Marines on a prayer with those medevac beams. Like, that was so close.
God. He lost one of his medevacs too, just before the fight started.
Yeah, just floating out there scouting. I mean, it was risky to do, but maybe the information was worth it. I don't know. That was a hell of a game 1 is what that was, really, guys. We could go on about that for I'm sure a good hour of analysis, but instead let's hop into game. It's Catalyst for game number 2, so much more standard map, the most standard map next to, I guess, Blackpink. But the good thing is, if you guys enjoyed that match, all the games today are best of 5s. The previous groups are best of 3s, and I feel like they were one and done too quick. There were 2-hour streams, 3-hour broadcasts, but this best of 5, I'm guessing, goes at least the distance for 4 hours. Fingers crossed, at least, because, oh man, this first game, I'm already stoked. I'm hooked. The first taste is free. All right, players are ready. Let's rock and roll. We'll see you guys on Catalyst. Welcome back to game number 2, folks. That was a hell of a game 1. If you missed it, you need to see it. But if you're just tuning in, this is, of course, the BTSL Korea Group Finals. 2 players will advance on to the playoffs, in which we'll find out which 2 out of 4 players will be coming to Canada. I'm Rifkin casting with Maynard, and we're going to do some intros, but then we got to sell out a little bit for the sponsors, so sit tight, folks, as we get into a really awesome game number 2. To the top left, once more, we do have the blue Protoss, hailing from Root Gaming. It's herO.
And in the bottom right, with one of the clutchest nail-biting wins on Blackpink, this is Psystorm Gaming's GuMiho.
Now, I don't want to get too big for my britches and start comparing us to the GSL Super Tournament or anything like that, but I watched some good games over there. Nothing got me as excited as the finish of what we just saw. But, man...
I mean, that was literally a unit or two to decide the end there. Like, it was down to minimal numbers. Could not have been closer.
For me, it's the fact that it was Marines, because those two Marines could have been collateral splash damage from the Colossus. Like, maybe that thing focuses on a different unit instead of the Marauder or the Marine. Like, there's a lot of what-ifs, obviously, guys, but it came down to what it was. It was super sick. But here's the sellout portion of this, right? If you guys didn't see, we actually recently got t-shirts made up for the tournament. They are the BTSL shirts. In fact, they are our lousiest t-shirts to date, proof of being I supported the BTSL and all I got was this lousy t-shirt. $8 from every purchase is going to go towards the prize pool, but I want to give away at least one of those bad boys before the stream is done today. So we'll have a giveaway at some point, probably closer to the end of the stream. If you guys want a chance to win one of those shirts because you're too cheap to buy one, make sure you stick around for a chance to win. We've also swapped over to a brand new bot, the Stream Elements bot, so nobody has an advantage over you. Everybody's starting from scratch with their points.
Also Proxy Void Ray here.
Yeah, this is, I mean, this is classic herO for me. And he was for a long time a guy who was just cheesing and getting good victories out of it. And then he started playing Standard and I was really disappointed. So I'm super stoked to see a disgusting move like this.
Do you know who also is not playing Standard? GuMiho. He's making Marauders and getting Concussive Shell as his first upgrade on the Tech Lab. He's going for like a push, expecting Gateway units. He's going to be sorely disappointed.
Right, this is literally the worst thing you could have in this instance. Because it's not a factory follow-up with a Widow Mine that may eventually save you. It's more barracks. Now, granted, with 3 racks production, right, you could eventually have enough Marines to stop this from getting out of hand. But as you pointed out, it's a Void Ray. It might not be a Void Ray initially, but it's going to be a Void Ray with a shield battery there. That much is for certain.
Oh, no. I really feel like this Oracle's a massive mistake.
Well, Maynard, the Oracle might not even get out.
Oh my god, it won't.
My clutching.
God, oh my god.
No! The second pylon finishes up.
Here we go. It will finish. There it is.
But even then, I mean, this is so weird. The Marauders push back, but into Stalkers, something they can actually get some damage done against. But the Oracle's wasting energy here and not in the Mineral Line, so it doesn't have that much juice to actually fight with.
Yeah, it's actually almost out. The Marines. Yeah, the bunker's quite smart. He usually, like, you know, when Protosses go for this, they are very, very much all in, so they need to send some gateway units across the map as well.
Well, I think one of the biggest aspects of this bunker isn't just that it faces the gateway, it covers his stim. God, it would be devastating losing stim trying to fight something like this. But herO's putting some shield batteries right in the front door, like knock knock, mother trucker.
Yeah, he's got 0 chill here. He does not care. This Oracle has energy, so can engage those Marines. It's just the 4. That turret, though, finishing up for GuMiho. Smart play to get that engineering bait down as well. Also means that he could actually have a quick upgrade for his bio if he can manage to get that far. But of course, it's all going to be about maybe even getting a Viking or a Starport at this point. Like, he needs to push up into factory tech and start really hammering out better units than bio at the moment. It's not going to be cutting the mustard for now.
It's really tough to say, like, a tank would be great, obviously, shelling away at the ground, but a tank also can't deal with a Void Ray. So priority on the bio makes sense, and ooh, that's a cool-looking skin. What's up, herO?
I think that's
so close to finishing, though.
Is that the forged one? Oh, man. Stim's actually still in trouble a little bit. The Stalkers can just in range of that tech lab, but they're going for the barracks, though. I'm pretty sure they can shoot the tech lab.
I don't think he's actually planning on killing anything. It's just pressure.
Okay. Yeah, well, Stim's going to finish here, so that's great for GuMiho.
Yeah, now it means he actually has a chance to fight. And the withdrawal of the barracks looks funny but necessary. Marauders could probably swap in out of the barracks, but of course those Void Rays can't get too close to the bunker. But oh, the focus fire out of GuMiho takes down 1, takes down 2. herO, you're supposed to be sitting by the shield batteries. What are you doing?
Yeah, I think he's missed a page or 2 in the shield battery Void Ray playbook here. It's the whole...
That feel when printf executes this better than herO. No, but this was definitely a mistake, but also I think not necessarily his fault in terms of complacency. Let's keep in mind, Marauders are usually not out to knock out the shield battery that covers the Stargate, and you're actually most of the time already over top of where you're safe. This is a very strange instance for GuMiho to deal with, but it's also weird for herO because the way he planned this is not the way it's actually played out.
No, I feel like this is starting to actually move into, like, yeah, the CC is going to go down, which is a huge pickoff. But I still feel like GuMiho can break this relatively shortly here once he gets a few more units out.
Yeah, it's difficult though if he's not careful. That force field on the ramp, the stalkers, whatever. Like, there's a lot of his stasis trap could even come down, right? There's a lot of things that keep him from moving out of this very easily. So yes, at some point he will break this, but he's got to be very careful how he does it, or he could lose everything. In fact, a medevac just going straight up across the map, forcing a recall, might be his best course of action.
Certainly, do a fair bit now, considering that these Marines have stim. He could probably unload just one of those bunkers there. And have the other one hold the job for him, or hold the door.
Hold the door. Too soon.
Oh, that supply block is huge for GuMiho.
Yeah, I mean, in his defense, though, he wasn't supposed to lose the CC at the natural. You're not usually facing this supply block. Things are just going haywire in this cheesy scenario. Now, he does pick up, and he's going to kill the pylon, so that means there's not going to be any more Stargate threat to this, right? Whew. Relieved, except for the fact that there's a mortal production already started back up on the other side of the field. This is not going to be so cut and dry.
Ooh, actually hasn't been able to depower the Stargate just yet. Has pulled some gateway units out of his natural, though. If he sees an opportunity to break on through, he certainly has one right now. Again, the Void Rays away from the shield batteries. One's going to go down.
A really important micro move there out of herO to cancel. Because if you guys don't know, while they're in hyper laser death mode, they move at 50% speed, so those Void Rays would have died to the bio. Canceling and giving up the damage. God damn, shield batteries are good. Canceling and giving up the damage to keep them alive is the right move there for sure. Salvaging the bunkers.
He's the shield batteries. He's working out.
Yeah.
If he had a CC on the low ground, I'd say GuMiho is in a great spot right now, but he doesn't. So
right, he's got to rebuild it.
Yeah. See, look at the work account for herO already at this point, because he's had those two Nexi pumping out probes.
Yeah, and Chrono, actually what's great is he hasn't even had to use that much Chrono on the probes. I was keeping an eye on that earlier, right? He got to end up putting that towards the Immortal and the Void Rays and whatever the heck he wanted to on this side of the field, but oh no.
Dirty boy. Dirty boy.
Again, credit where it's due. herO's kicking ass, and he's doing this kind of almost not perfectly, but it's well enough that it's really making GuMiho sweat. And I mean, I'm kind of feeling bad for GuMiho, but he is up 1-0 in the series, and the inner, I guess, caster in me is just like always cheering for Game 5, no matter what bias of the player you're cheering for.
I'm exactly the same. I don't care which plays they are. Oh, this is a huge... Ooh, damn, that was unfortunate for herO there. GuMiho is dropping the main. Maybe able to... yeah, I was going to say, that's a lot of Protoss there, and he scans it, he sees it. I don't know if he can toe-to-toe with that army. Yeah. Well,
the worst would have been if he had floated into a Void Ray and it just melts a medevac, right? Because that's exactly what Void Rays do. But Stalkers also get some good shots. Oh, medevac goes down.
Yeah, and that shaves through the army count here at GuMiho. He doesn't have fighting power at the moment with his army. It's also tough for him to come back in a macro game. Like, yeah, it kind of feels like he's between a rock and a hard place right now.
I mean, okay, so you know, people in chat think it's over, but then herO keeps making mistakes like this. Oracle's flying over the Marines, Void Ray goes out for free. Like, I want to say it should be over, but not that it is over. These Liberators get some good shots in too.
Yeah, they certainly are. There's a reinforcement here from GuMiho. Oh man, see that reinforcement of Stalkers from the outside? Oh, that's huge.
Stasis trapped. GG.
That's it. Woo. I didn't even see that stasis trap until you saw it just now, because I'm locked onto your camera being lazy with my hands off the keyboard, because that's how I cast.
I don't think GuMiho saw it either. I mean, let's be real. That was a tough game from start to finish. The Marauder build into a proxy Void Ray, well, proxy Oracles, then Void Ray. That was just not going to be a game for GuMiho. He would have had to be a real, like, actual literal god to pull that one off.
I want to say that was a well executed game by herO. I mean, it was good enough to win for sure, but I feel like there was a little bit of weirdness in the beginning with that proxy, like losing the Void Rays. Like you said, he was making a couple mistakes, but so was GuMiho. So it was a bit of a slugfest. That one it was like a mud wrestle. That game, it was dirty, it was messy, and herO came out on top.
Well, guys, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. I'm going to play a small video from one of our sponsors while we do it. So sit tight. We'll be back in about 2 minutes with game number 3. If you've just woken up, don't worry. Yes, you've missed a lot, but it is only 1-1. So we'll see you guys. Welcome back, folks. Thank you for watching that break. course, you got to see a quick video from our sponsors over at Tang. If you're a United States citizen currently tuning in, I keep saying citizen, but let's be real. If you live in the United States and you are a citizen or not, it doesn't matter. If you're paying more than $25 a month in your phone bill, you should check out bttv.ting.com because A, they're going to give you $25 in credit to put towards your phone bill to try them out for a month for free. And also, they just have super competitive rates. It's a pay-as-you-go, no subscription, no BS service. So check them out, guys. Ting is great, and they've sponsored many tournaments, including this one. That being said, in the top left, he's just tied things up with some dirty, dirty cheese. We have our blue Protoss from Root Gaming, herO.
And fighting cheese with a different brand of cheese. In the bottom right here from Psystorm Gaming, the Terran player, this is GuMiho.
I believe this cheesy build won't be too dedicated, though. It is... Like, GuMiho is a guy who will throw down maybe a couple buildings, but he's not usually the Jakshi player to throw down the starport with the whole amalgamation of things. But we'll see how far he takes this, because right now this has not been scouted, but it's about to be.
Yeah, this halloumi, this camembert from GuMiho. I wonder how it's going to pay out for him. herO has scouted the lack of barracks. He's seen the double gas. This is looking like a proxy factory here from GuMiho. Yeah, there it is.
This is looking pretty Gouda for our Terran.
Pretty
so
Gouda,
far,
yeah.
even though the fact of the proxy has been revealed, the proxy itself has not been scouted.
He's going to be Limburgering up the ramp shortly. Looks like probably with Cyclones.
Cyclones are pretty fast. They go by and it's like swish, swish.
Swish, yeah. This build does have kind of like as many holes in it as Swiss, though.
Let's go for that one next. I was like waiting to see what one you do, and I had like, ah, oh, damn it, Maynard. That's like the kid in class. You stole my answer.
You know what? herO's got more strings than mozzarella cheese, man. He is gonna be just fine if he smells he already smells that something is amiss here or rye. All right. So he can actually, he's got the robot already on the way. He's made a robot immediately after the gateway, after the cyber core rather. So he's going to potentially have the tools to hold this, but will he hold it is the big question.
I mean, I love that the barracks is going to be providing high ground vision paired up with the Cyclones. You know, they've just got damage no matter what units are out. Even if they're light units like Adepts and Zealots, they still get dealt with pretty quickly by Cyclones. This probes us to scouting. I mean, the barracks is going to be the first indication that it is going to be mech coming his way, because you don't just float a barracks if you're going bio. Yeah.
Also, that barracks got there pretty quick.
I put a couple SCVs with this too. Repairing is always so cool, but they can also just soak some shots. If an Immortal auto attacks an SCV, it's better than repairs going into a Cyclone. That much is for damn sure. But a little supply block for herO that he'll have to deal with. Not before that Immortal eventually comes out. He's trying to land the barracks and screw with the positioning. I love it. But I don't know if it'll be enough. He's trying to focus this down, but the Immortal pops on top of that Cyclone, kills it right away. That's a big problem for GuMiho.
Yep, literally half of his army just got removed there as that Cyclone goes down. This one is too hurt to battle anymore. There is 2 more Cyclones joining in, but even just one Immortal with Gateway support can still hold on.
He's gone for Widowmines as the follow-up to this. I mean, I expected to see more Cyclones, to be honest with you, but I guess using the gas on his starport and looking to swap out, he needs some cheaper units.
I think he's maybe trying to go for Banshee as well. Like he's getting a Tech Lab starport back at home.
This is so strange. I mean, this is less than typical, but I also love it because GuMiho is, as you described earlier, a bit of a mad scientist sometimes. The guy does weird stuff. I mean, he pioneered the double Thor drops versus Zerg. Everyone looked in that and said, this is crazy. This will never work. And then that's like the standard thing to do now. These Widowmines gonna get double kills on these Stalkers. Oh my god, that's actually huge. And then he gets the Widowmines out of there. No way. He could actually protect them with the Cyclones, but I think he's too worried about losing them to that Immortal.
Yeah, he wants to get out of there from that Immortal. In fact, the Adept getting caught in the Pachinko machine there takes a ton of damage from the Cyclones. This Prism is very annoying for GuMiho, but he can lock on. Yeah.
It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it does a lot of burst damage. So you can chase that off while kiting away. And now these Widowmines get to plant themselves down again. I mean, they're coming off cooldown too, so they'll actually get a second charge off. I mean, nowadays, this is such a rarity for Widowmines. And there's no blink, there's no juking it. Well, maybe with the Warp Prism, he's got to be careful, though. Splash damage will still be a problem. Takes out one of the Stalkers.
Prism taking a little bit of damage here from the Cyclones as well. Any kind of HP damage GuMiho can force out here is great. He is trying to get that Cloak Banshee out. If he can get that out, that's huge. herO has no observers.
Yeah, and that, I don't even know if you'd want to use it at home. It might be better off just going straight across the map, like a Bat Out of Hell type thing, or a Banshee Out of Hell. Regardless, this is a hold he can do at the top of the ramp for some time. Once Warpins come in and they will eventually overwhelm this, the bunker is a bluff. He doesn't know whether it's full. The Widow Mine he knows is there. He saw it target. This is a tough situation for herO to find an opening. When he might just find one.
Warp Prisms are very good at finding openings. Any hole is a goal for this Warp Prism. Double Immortal in the main base. Never something that the Terran wants to have to deal with. When you primarily have Cyclones as well, and it's even worse case. SCV's being pulled off the line. They are getting shredded.
Single Banshee, there's the map. Wasn't cloaked though. No! Missed opportunity for sure. Oh, the Warp Prism doesn't go down. The SCVs have been absolutely massacred, and I think even though this Banshee would hold, well, you know what? He did enough damage. herO's not actually monstrously far ahead. He doesn't have a second Nexus after all. The tank setting up over here for the Warp Prism. Oh, might deal with that. Good shot.
Oh, we canceled that warp in there.
You know what? There's a second CC finish here for GuMiho. I didn't even realize that. We've been so focused here, I didn't even look at the production tab. This might not be so bad, despite having almost no workers to manage here.
Yeah, well, you know, you still have mules. This Widow Mine's going to get a few gateway units. Oh, hot pick up there from herO. Great control. Does lose the Immortal in the end, though. Double Banshee, too much DPS for him to deal with. He gets out of there. Well, does he get out of there with a Warp Prism? I feel like something...
This is worth the sacrifice, I think. You're trying to pick off those mules. You know those are GuMiho's lifeblood. Like, he has no workers to work with. He needs those mules. So, while he doesn't get them, that would have been super worthwhile if he did. Widow Mine repositioning itself. By the way, this Warp Prism is so low that it will die to a Widow Mine. Normally it won't, but in this case it will.
Yeah, and now he has another observer with his army as well. So there's one at home and there's one here. So the Banshees aren't a huge threat for herO anymore. He can march that observer forward and actually gun these down when he gets a few more Stalkers out. He already has 7.
It's still one base. I'm still, I don't know if GuMiho can do this, but like given enough time, that second orbital, that's going to win him this game, I think. But he doesn't have the army to fight it. He doesn't want to stick through it. So GG's get called, and herO takes a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, puts herO on match point here. And you know what? GuMiho went for the stinky cheddar, and he got completely deflected by herO. Well-deserved win there. The Protoss player just absolutely reading it and doing a great job. Like I said, you know, you get that quick robotics facility when you smell that something's amiss. And yeah, that Immortal makes all the difference. And so that hold was actually quite easy for herO. He made it look easy at least.
I really wish I could shake your hand, by the way. That pun game, without being planned, was quite excellent, sir.
You're welcome.
All right.
I actually have energy for tonight's cast again, so it's nice. It's a nice change.
Hell yeah, dude. Speaking of energy and hype, I got this to show off. Okay, first off, here's a picture of the BTSL t-shirt, because I still have this from earlier. I support the BTSL, and all I got was this lousy t-shirt. But more importantly, oh, I invited you to a party. Ooh, awkward. Let's fix that.
I like parties, but...
More importantly, Laser SEQ, well, not more importantly what you were saying, but what I was saying before, he bought the BTSL poster. Oh, that's the wrong display capture. You guys don't need to see the game yet. There we go. And I tweeted us a picture of the poster you got in the mail. I'm so glad that this came out looking good. I was really paranoid this would look terrible. You never know with posters and prints, right? But good stuff, man. Thank you for that support. Thank you for buying that poster. And of course, poster proceeds, t-shirt proceeds, all that shit goes into the tournament. Nobody's making a profit off this. We're just gonna have the best goddamn StarCraft tournament on the West Coast. Canada, specifically Vancouver.
It's gonna be the best StarCraft land in British Columbia.
There you go. Sure. There you go. But Backwater doesn't have an intro because I'm a terrible human being. So let's go to the boring load screen of the default variety. And I don't know, this is pretty cool. I really like best of fives. I've really loved them, not just because it's a longer series, we get more games, we cast longer, but it's actually got comeback potential. You know, I really hate when series are ended in a 2-0 when you know that could have gone 3-2 type thing. But we'll see if our Terran player has the gumption to make it happen, because this fella up here, this feller in the top left of Backwater, Larry, we got that there blue Protoss eats liquid herO.
Cletus, what's that out in the dunes? Is that GuMiho? I think it might be. Go get the hose.
I think that's Zergling.
Yeah, that is Zergling right there. Go get my 33. I need to load that shit up. If GuMiho comes down the lawn, I'll shoot him between the eyes.
I don't know what's better, this or the Valley Girl. If I had to pick and choose, I wouldn't be able to do it. I'd have to flip a coin. But yeah, GuMiho, like, he's a good Terran. You know, the proxy was a risk, and I don't know that he would have taken that same risk. Maybe it was map dependent, maybe it wasn't, but he had a game to fall back on, right? Maybe that was the risk that gets you you or maybe it's the risk that cost you the game, as it did. Either way, coming into Backwater, it's a map with a pretty easy 3-base setup. GuMiho's a fantastic mid-game player, and I think, I say that versus Protoss, he's actually great late game versus Zerg, but versus Protoss, I think his mid-game's the strongest. So sitting on 3 bases might just be his sweet spot against herO, if we get there.
If. It's the big question. The first probe of every Protoss, doing what it does best. Giving Terran a hard time. But, you know, he's already lost all his shields.
I don't know who's actually more cheeky with their first probe, M Canning or herO. Because hero's willing to do like
M Canning.
Right, herO will recall the probe, and that's tilting. But M Canning will spray your base. That's permanent. You can't get rid of that. The funniest instance we saw was MMA had no idea about sprays. So M Canning's spray, for those who don't know, is a Colossus that says GLHF, and MMA couldn't figure out how to get rid of it, so he built on top of it.
I remember that. I think I was casting that, maybe. Oh, I was definitely watching it anyway.
Well, one of the other, either way, I love the spray. Is so, it's that next level, man. It's next level stuff.
No, I did cast that. MMA. I mean, we love MMA. It was just, the banter was real. It's great. The concussive shell opening from Catalyst is back again here for GuMiho, and this time there isn't a Stargate outside of his main base. So that's already a good start.
This is a really big thing, because whether he was going to do this or not blindly, he at least scouts with the SCV, not just the fact that a natural is down, but what it looks like in the main. And what it looks like in the main is pretty clear sailing, because there's no SimCity to have to dance around. Now, yeah, it's going to be a Stargate, and that's going to kind of suck to deal with, but Marauders bring a lot of power, and they can take a lot of hits.
Yeah, they certainly can, and he's 3 racks in behind this as well. 3 racks is very, very common in this matchup, but 3 racks with Concussive Shell and Marauder first, generally not, but it does punish a Protoss that goes too deep with their Stalkers, which is something that herO has done once or twice.
By the way, guys, I do apologize. We got so caught up with some technical hiccups. I kind of got lost on the track of subs, so quick just shotgun shout out to all these wonderful people for their various times subscribed to the channel. Cybercorpse, Smiles, It's a Game, Bloodlust, Kohara66, and External Punch just now. Thank you all for your long and short-term support of the channel. Love you very much, and sorry that we missed them when they were live. But,
love you long time, guys. Thanks for supporting the channel.
That deals with the adept
is an unfortunate shade. Yeah, that it feels like GuMiho and herO both dealt with that adept. Like, they both, unfortunately, through a turn of events that was not deliberate by either player, have lost that adept. And these Marauders are still alive. Like you said, they can take a hit, and they're certainly quite beefy. This adept is also in danger. Can shade away, at least.
I really love that they started adding these colors to the upgrades. The Marauder blue concussive shells, the orange resonating glaives, the green grooved spines. Oh, the alliteration's nice, actually, but this is gonna be dealt with. But the cool thing is, and I really love this aspect of it, he forces the Oracle to pop its energy over here. herO is setting up for a proxy with gateways. He's warping in, and it's about to get downright dedicated here on GuMiho's base, but that's an Oracle less that he'll have to fight with.
Also, I feel like when you 3 racks and you have a bunker out, this play from herO without blink is not
scary.
Yeah, it's not as scary. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Thank you.
Yo, the captain himself, give him a salute. Let's get some 07s in the chat, because Harstum just threw us a big fatty host, man. I was hanging out in the stream a little bit before. Thank you very much for the host. Oh, I love that. SCV triggers the trap.
I love Harstum, man, and I completely agree that clowns belong in the circus.
Dude, that was such a good clip.
Completely agree.
All right, GuMiho has done a great job with that stasis trap, because A, it did trigger it, right? But B, the SCV also gets to see that there's no army sitting out here. This is weird scouting information provided. And herO is right to back away. This is not a fight he can take. He knows there's concussive shells. He's already had to fight it a couple times. All this Marauder has to do is just hit a unit. It doesn't actually have to kill anything. And, oh my god!
Yeah, gets the tag off. There's one high energy Oracle here that could do some SCV damage, maybe, but it's so low in hit points.
Right, it's the one that got peppered up. That thing's not going anywhere near a missile turret, so Stasis Trap's not a bad choice. And herO's proxy, okay, it's kind of failed for the time being, but it wasn't scouted and it wasn't caught, so he can still warp in things like Adepts and transfer in a little bit later. But GuMiho's attack with Revelation, it's been seen coming from across the map, literally. There's no medevac support for it. It's a lot of damage. It's going to have +1 in seconds, but it doesn't have sustainability. So this is kind of like a suicide attack if it goes in there. Oh.
Big stasis ward there, but I mean, it's not really consequential. GuMiho can recover that army and send it back.
Yeah.
We'll just keep it there. That's cool.
There's nothing making him go for the attack, though, and that's what I like about pulling back. I was going to start questioning this because, you know, if you're pressuring a third, you're denying a fourth. Like, things like these moves make sense to pressure, but there was nothing forcing GuMiho's hand, and now he's coming back to the defense. I hope that depot's raised, Maynard, because if that depot's not raised, there's Adepts getting into the main.
Yeah, he's got to raise him. Got to raise him. That's so many Adepts here. They have Resonating Glaze, but Stim and +1. Oh my god!
And bunkers and an SCV pull. Oh my god!
Ace 1, Ace 2.
Yo, Lions, Tigers, and Bears. Oh my.
Oh damn.
So big love to Hearthstone.
I'm happy.
Well, hang on. I was going to say big love to Hearthstone, but if you guys missed out, I'm going to do something right now that I can't normally do, right? Because we're dealing with harassment, targeted harassment, we have subscriber-only VODs on. I'm actually going to turn that off right now because all of you who just joined the stream missed game 1 of this series. And I'm telling you, there is not going to be another game today that is as sick as game 1 of GuMiho versus herO. So I have just, like, right now live turned off subscriber-only VODs. And anybody who just joined the stream, please stop watching right now, rewind, go watch game 1, and then come back. Because nothing is going to beat how sick game 1 of this best of 5 was.
Nothing compares to you, game 1.
Nothing compares to you, game 1. But we're getting into the lobby for Eastwatch. It'll be the very last game. Oh, Innovation's poking me. He's ready to play, but it's not his turn just yet. Eastwatch will be the last game in this best of 5. Normally, this is where I could do commercials, but instead of 2 minutes of commercials, guys, I'm going to do some sponsor talks once we get into the game. I hope that's an acceptable trade. And we got a $3 tip coming in, by the way, from Denmark is the best. This guy is back again. I have not heard proof otherwise, so I'm forced to believe that Denmark is in fact the best. Thank you for the $3.
Arguments can be made for Australia, but we'll go with Denmark for now.
They could be, but they're not.
But they could be.
They could be for $3. All right.
For $3.
We're in the lobby. Players are good to go. Let's not dilly-dally. Guys, it's Eastwatch. We'll see you in game. Oh, somebody's got a slow PC, but with the scene transition that timed out perfectly, so forget that, ladies and gentlemen. We're back, and things are tied up 2-2. We're in Game 5 of the very first best of today. And this has set a great precedent for a good day of StarCraft. I'm casting with my good friend Maynard, and here in the top right, we've got the Blue Protoss for the 5th time. It's Root herO.
And in the bottom left, also for the 5th time, this is Psystorm Gaming's GuMiho. This series has actually been a, you know, those tasting platters that you see at parties. They got like some rolled up ham on there, and you know, maybe a couple pickles, a little bit, you know, some olives, some blocks of cheese with toothpicks in them. That's what this series has been. It's been a little bit of everything. I really wish this was a best of 9 because we would probably see everything in TVP.
Right? This is where like I want to invite these guys back, but. We may, if you know, luck and fate smiles upon us, we may get to see this again in the finals of the group if all things shuffle that way. But oh man, herO's getting downright dirty for the 5th game. He did this already once. It's probably going to be a Stargate again. Well, maybe not the Void Ray variety. Actually, I take all that back because the positioning I forgot on Eastwatch is not quite going to be the same.
This could be still a nice spot for a Void Ray though, but he is going to drop a Gateway here instead. So this is going to be maybe fast Stalker bust from herO. Reaper going to come out here for GuMiho, but you always scout this a little bit too late when something's proxy like this.
Yeah, even by the time the Reaper gets across the map, it wouldn't see that the gateway wasn't at home in time. Or it sees one in a cyber core and it doesn't look suspicious unless you're really guessing about their natural base. Regardless, GuMiho is going to be in some trouble. A guy who has gone 3 racks in several games, unless he blindly does it again, might not have the units to actually contest this.
Yeah, and if you don't have like a blind bunker as well, you're also in a bit of trouble as well. This one probe just waiting for the Reaper to go on past before it heads on back in, but GuMiho's hunting. Got you in my sights.
Yeah, but this probe's not really an important probe at all. It was a distraction at least, right? The Stalker now getting chronoed out. It's going to come in. It's going to absolutely pick off this SCV. It's going to kill the command center if it can't pressure that ramp. And GuMiho's gone for a factory, which, granted, if it gets a Cyclone out, this is something he can still make work. But oh, he goes to scout and he sees what's up now. He didn't know before, but he does now.
Yeah, unfortunately, this means that this, you know, like you said, it's going to be tougher to hold this CC. herO hasn't targeted down that SCV yet. He's getting bullied back by the boys.
Actually, yeah, letting this command center complete is a big mistake. The biggest blow to GuMiho here would be canceling that command center. So the probe's going to live. He's got the... I guess there's going to be some shield batteries coming down in a moment, but as long as that CC finishes and he lifts it, GuMiho's actually in a not bad spot.
Yeah, the CC finishing is pretty huge.
Oh, no.
He does still need a hold of mate. Oh.
It's still kind of okay because the Cyclone's on the way. Cyclone's going to eventually beat this out. The SCV's buy some time for the bunker to finish. Now he sticks the Reaper and the Marine inside said bunker, and he go back to mining. This base needs to lift, though. I don't know why he's adamant about keeping it in the natural. There's no way it's going to get anything done there. Bring it to the main, turn it to an orbital, play off the back end of this, right?
Tend to agree. It's going to take a bit of damage, but it's not hugely consequential. He's still going to save it. Oh, wow, in range of that shield battery. So that shield battery there's got about half energy on it. 4 stalkers at the front. And herO, wow, taking the gold behind this. In for a penny, in for a pound.
That's an excellent move, but it's so risky because if GuMiho can mount any kind of counterattack, that base is going to be so exposed.
Yeah, it's very hard to hold on to that gold base, especially in the early stages here. High ground vision is lacking as well for herO, so this Cyclone and Bunker are going to get free shots off of these Stalkers before they get anywhere near the ramp. Of course, this is draining shield battery energy as well. I love that GuMiho pumped out that one last Reaper. I think he knocked it out of his bunker there.
Yep.
And is going to send it across the map because herO doesn't want to warp anything back at home.
It's really, like, even if it just forces out one warp in that takes away pressure from the front, if it doesn't warp in anything and he scouts the gold, he just sits there and denies mining with a Reaper for a considerable amount of time. And now the tank's out, he starts pushing this back. So, I mean, herO bought some time with this opening, but this was not devastating in the slightest. The problem is, though, he's got to pull back. There's no way he can deal with that siege tank. And, oh, catches 2 probes going for that transfer, which means he hasn't seen it, but I think he knows there's a gold base.
He knows. Yeah, so this is actually a really good start for GuMiho, I feel. Like, yes, herO has this Nexus finished at the gold, and yes, he's going to have good mineral income for a little while here, but GuMiho still has that CC. It's going to be in an orbital soon, and he already has a starport pumping out a medevac as well. Like, I feel like GuMiho is actually in a pretty nice spot.
Yeah, this game, to be clear for those watching, would have been so much better for herO if he actually canceled the command center building, if he killed the SCV that was building it. Like, that was what should have actually ended GuMiho's life. No, I'm not saying he made a mistake. Like, he had to run from the SCVs legitimately. He didn't have the opportunity to knock this down, but that's the point of this attack, right? To do that real damage, which it didn't accomplish. I also love the way he set up the siege tanks here. They're going to be very difficult to actually get on top of. I mean, even if you've got the vision, which the hallucination will provide, it's still the terrain you got to walk around just to get to these siege tanks. This is a really fortified position.
Gets rid of this fast warp-in position as well.
Run, little Cyclones, run!
I really wish Blizzard gave me afterburners.
Well, this is still good, though, because, I mean, this is wasting a huge time for herO, right? Who cares if the Cyclone dies? It's distracted the Stalkers from any kind of attack whatsoever.
herO's making tons of pylons, like, sort of outside the base of GuMiho. Not too close, not too far away. But, of course, they don't have gateways at them, so they're slow warp-in.
You know what,
could come into play.
These are not just backup warp-in locations, but this is also an excellent spot to scout a medevac, say, shooting out of the main. Blink's done too. He's going to be able to hop up here to the main. That second tank is not going to be in position to help this. Neither will the third. The one tank's going to get some shots off, but this is going to get stim. That's a huge problem for GuMiho.
That's massive, potentially game-ending move there from herO. He's going to get the tank as well. Massive pickoffs.
He's really hesitant to bring the other tanks, and I don't think it was because he was lazy. He just was worried about an attack hitting the front gates as well. Unfortunately, though, this is so bad. A lot of damage done through this. 13 SCVs. Any kind of lead GuMiho had has just been equalized. Because herO, not only on a gold base back at home, he's actually building a third in his natural.
Yeah, herO has turned this game on its head, man. It was looking all right for GuMiho, but that one swift maneuver there from herO, and all of a sudden, it is all Protoss. He's in a really, really good spot right now.
The SCVs are pulled. They try to go for the repair. It's super desperate. I mean, there's no stim to fight with. There's a medevac that brings 8 more Marines home, but again, without stim, without that +1, taking this fight against somebody who's got the maneuverability of Blink, who's got Guardian shields and force fields.
He's gonna charge soon.
Oh my god, this gets worse and worse for GuMiho. There's not even a wall off here.
In fact, if he gets rid of all these depots...
Oh, that supply block's gonna hurt GuMiho. He's pretty close to supply blocking him as is.
And he's trying to get a tank out. That's absolutely going to supply block him if he gets these depots very, very heavily here. Well, getting in a gateway for a proxy. I think hero's just going to try and end the game really shortly.
GuMiho actually has a lot of energy on these orbitals. No mules, no scans. He could drop supply if he feels pressured, but at the same time, I kind of wish he'd start muling. Just he needs money right now. He needs supply. He needs everything, and he is dropping some a little bit here. Pretend we didn't see that GuMiho, but we know he needed it.
He goes to scan there. I mean, maybe he's afraid of DTs. I'm not too sure. Hallucinated Colossus giving him some high ground vision for another blink into the main.
He knows it's a fake, but it soaks a lot of damage before going down. So a nice big damage soak there. Kills a couple of these stalkers, but really pushes this off, and that's what he needs to be doing. But this was herO on 2 bases. GuMiho's looking better and better as time goes on, but it's not. herO's on 3 bases.
Yeah, he's already up a good chunk of workers, and that's going to be exacerbated as 3 pros get made at a time. Charge also trying to come in, but there's a wall off here for GuMiho. He gets a lot of damage on those stalkers, on those zealots rather. I think there's maybe just too many gateway units. Without stim here, it's very tough for GuMiho. The tank on the high ground, though.
Actually, GuMiho's tank was not just the savior there, but MVPs, I think, go out to the SCVs on hold position. If those were attack move SCVs, they get slaughtered by the Zealots. Their hold position, instead of trying to repair the tank or trying to attack the Zealots, forced those Zealots to not be able to fight, and despite not having stim, GuMiho's +1 gave him the damage he needed to take that fight. Now stim's done in 2 seconds. He can pull the boys if he wants, but this will be able to take a fight despite those force fields. GuMiho's just got so much more bio, and if herO's not careful, a counterattack can kill him. He's got to not dedicate too much to this. Falling back is the right move.
That's a big weakness for herO. He has a massive economy lead over GuMiho, but GuMiho has a massive army supply lead. That's really common for this matchup, but there is so much more army supply than normal right now for GuMiho because he's been primarily producing units for such a long time. He still has tanks as well, and herO's trying to power ahead, going for Templar Archives, going for double forge here. There's a big weakness window here for herO.
Yeah, if GuMiho gets distracted, chasing a Zealot or noticing a warp in, and stops his attack, this is everything herO needs to get back in the game. But right now, GuMiho goes for a decisive cut down the middle of the map. Oh, I love this, actually. For herO, I think he's almost hoping GuMiho attacks this. Everything he needs to buy time, force fields, right? To get those double upgrades, to get those Templar out, to get Archons in play. But he's not granted any of those timings as GuMiho's already here. Knock, knock. I'm at your door.
That's right. No combat shield, but he does have stim now and a bit more energy on those medevacs for healing and standing and fighting. And he is going to stand and fight here. The tanks are out, not really helping in this fight.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a problem to take a fight away from the tanks, but he's also just got so much bio, and that +1 is going to try to knock down the rocks and cut out the reinforcements. He's going to kill some stalkers straight up, by the way. They'll die if they don't blink away, so the blink in the last second puts them on cooldown, which means they can't get back over the rocks. It's not a lot left for GuMiho, though. He lost a lot in that attack. Fighting away from the tanks was a huge mistake.
That's a lot of charge lots, but GuMiho is lifting up, and it looks like he's going to go on the other side of the rocks here. Try and maybe take out that gold base. The Jukes.
He just got bamboozled. You got juked. The rocks are there. The Zealots can't go. They can't get involved with the fight. I can't even speak. A recall's the right move. That's certainly cool, but GuMiho can pick up and go to the main if he focuses down the stalkers first, though.
Oh, no. The stalkers are actually target firing the medevacs. He's reading your mind there, Rifkin. He knows what GuMiho's going to try and do. GuMiho's lifting up whatever he can. These couple tanks on the ground are going to go down.
Oh, no. I mean, this is so good for herO because he's got a 4th Nexus behind this. He's got double upgrades behind this. He's caught up in upgrades already. GuMiho's advantages are slipping away from him.
Yeah, the army supply difference that was so hugely in favor of GuMiho is starting to be closed here by herO, who's been making plenty of these charge lots and these gateway units. He's got those high Templar out now as well. Feedback on the medevacs. They're not going to last much longer. This looks like it might be the end, or the beginning of the end here for GuMiho.
Yeah, it's 2 bases to 4. A gold base was had by herO on top of this. I mean, the income, I shudder to look at, but yep, it's pretty much all blue for the last 10 minutes.
No surprises there. 4 Nexus, not too bloody bad. 2 base Terran, not bloody good. He can just power through here. herO just has way more production, way more income, way more everything than GuMiho. He's going to try and charge on in. There's a nice wall-off attempt there with that bunker, but there's just overwhelming supply here from herO. Blinks on into the natural. Even if he takes a bad trade, it doesn't even matter. The Archons are here, and he just does the rest with that splash damage. GG. herO gets a 3-2 in a very entertaining series.
Super well-deserved, too. I mean, like, I'm a huge GuMiho fanboy, and I can respect that victory. herO did good. It was entertaining. It was fun. It had drama. It had cheeses. I mean, that series actually had everything. And some in the chat just saying, Rifkin, thanks for recommending game number 1. No problem, man. Like, that whole series was good. I loved it. I loved every second of it. But now we get into another pretty good set. We got Impact versus Innovation on deck. Now, this will take a few minutes because we got to actually get vetoes sorted with them. And GuMiho and herO will be back, of course, for the winners and the losers match. But next up is Innovation versus Impact. So we're going to play some commercials. We're going to actually play a video that we recorded over at TwitchCon with one of our major sponsors, Ting. And we'll see you guys in a little bit. But if you are going to take off, I think, if I'm guessing, probably 5-6 minutes at the longest, and we'll get into this next series ASAP. I'm not a big fan of downtime. I'll see you guys soon.